My mother is sick. She has a terrible disease that's slowly killing her. It's been very hard to care for her. She's so weak that she can't feed or use the bathroom by herself, and the doctors said she only has 6 months to live. My father had left us a long time ago. I have no siblings or close friends to rely on. I'm not here to recount my life story for your sympathy. I just felt that maybe you should know my background, what was driving me. With no other options from the current modern medical field to cure her, I had to turn to ulterior methods. Of course, the usual pseudo-garbage didn't work, although I didn't really expect it to. Ligma, after all, is a pretty horrible disease. I thought better safe than sorry, though, in the case that incense and healing crystals did end up doing something. Anything. But no. I always knew I'd have to turn to some unseemly supernatural means to achieve my goal, and after wasting time I didn't have tracking down old tomes and libraries, I found my cure online. On this rather underground forum site that I'd never heard of called Reddit. It was pretty derelict by website standards. I had my doubts that anyone ever posted there anymore, but I decided to give it a shot. There was this one page called r/true off my chest or something, where I vented my problems about my mother, not really expecting any response. But then something strange happened. I actually did get responses, lots of them, in fact.
Dude, that's a simple fix. Just go to the local McDonald's, man. You just need the... I forgot. Okay. You just need the Gyatt burger.
At first, I was confused, to say the least. The Gyatt burger? What were they talking about? But almost every response was something along those lines. I did some further prodding on other medical and questionnaire subreddits, as they were called, and everyone almost unilaterally said the same thing. It took some more investigating, but eventually a couple of users gave me the specifics for a ritual that, if successful, would grant me access to this Gyatt burger, something which they all universally claimed could cure my mother easily. So, that's what I set out to do. My detailed search and follow-up investigation on the matter led to an interesting discovery. An official website. Not the McDonald's website. Not the official one anyways. But rather a deep dark web McDonald's site. It was far more spine-chillingly sinister than the official one that I had perused earlier for information. On the front page, the mascots were twisted, dark, and simply evil-looking versions of their normal selves. The Hamburglar, for example. His eyes were unnaturally opened wide and bloodshot. His tie, instead of depicting the delicious hamburgers he so coveted, was instead replaced with the grotesque hyper-realistic imagery of decapitated children. The Grimace's usual happy smile was a bone-rattling scowl, and his magenta hue replaced by a dark blue, now sporting an extra pair of arms, equaling 4 in total. That bird bitch, who I don't know the name, just looked like a regular hyper-realistic chicken, but its eyes were pitch black, illuminated by small red dots where its pupils would be, and from its eyes dripped a steady stream of blood. Mayor McCheese looked normal, but there was an evil gleam behind his eyes. He was up to no good. I could sense it. Needless to say, I was extremely disturbed. Nothing in the comments implied anything scary, disturbing, or sus. Of course, now that I thought about it, the ritual, as they said, was completed by a visit at 3 a.m., the devil's hour. I was foolish to think that it would be sunshine and lollipops. Still, the existence of the website confirmed my suspicions about the Gyatt burger's legitimacy. After all, it had a website on the internet. It had to be true. The website had the same instructions the users on Reddit gave me. It was listed under an instructions tab, and while the site's unseemly atmosphere deterred me from snooping too long, I was able to get to the page of the fabled Gyatt burger. There was an audio file. It went as follows.
I, your spectral gastronomical guide, Carlos Stink, but I can't see the text, it's Carlos Stink, presents a burger that whispers secrets to the lost and beckon the curious souls to indulge in the unknown. The Gyatt burger. Beware, a char-grilled spectre of beef, seasoned with herbs plucked from the shadows, awaits you. Its essence, infused with the echoes of distant wails, creates a flavor that lingers on the palate like a ghostly apparition. Lurking beneath the veil of darkness is a slice of cryptic cheese, aged in the dark recesses of the human mind, and milked wholesale from my creature, This enigmatic fromage will tantalize your taste buds with a whisper of forgotten tales and forbidden secrets. Draped in the shadows of our secret sauce, a concoction born from the midnight confessions of restless spirits. The Gyatt burger reveals layers of flavor that can cure all ailments. Crispy lettuce, a mere illusion of freshness, and onions bring an unearthly crunch to every bite that can be heard and felt across a lifetime. The bun, my fearless festers. It is the veil between realms, a soft, mysterious barrier that cradles the special symphony within. These layers of darkness hold the secrets of the Gyatt burger, a delectable, irresistible, inescapably soft container to house its unearthly power. But take heed, for this burger is no mere meal. It is a portal to the unknown, coveted by lost souls yearning for a taste of the happiness they thought it could bring. Consume it with caution, for with each doomed bite, you may find yourself entwined in the cursed yet powerful properties of this meal from beyond the dark veil. Oh my.
It definitely seemed like the burger I was looking for. Certainly something that could cure my mother, and might taste well to boot. I was determined. I would do the ritual, bring the Gyatt burger back to my mother, and cure her, no matter what. The ritual described on the website and by commenters was simple enough. While on a continuous edging streak, you must outmog the manager of your local McDonald's. Drink an entire Grimace shake and fully reach climax completion inside of the McDonald's ice cream machine. You must return to the McDonald's at 3 a.m. on the very night you did the ritual. Only then will you be able to enter the spectral McDonald's, as I've decided to call it, and are able to order off its secret menu. Like I said, simple enough. Scoping out my local eateries, I found a McDonald's near Miller Grove, Ohio. It was obvious from the manager's appearance that he didn't look smacks, and I was confident I could outmog him easily. Gaining access to the ice cream machine would be a different matter. My opening was a help wanted sign. I'd come inside for the daily shift, then I'd come inside. The application process was swift enough, and soon I'd gain entry. Despite my unremarkable appearance and resume, the manager always regarded me with suspicion. Like, out of all the crewmates on this ship we call McDonald's, I was the imposter. I ignored him. After all, I only had to keep outmogging him until the goon state kicked in. Then I could finish up here, quit, and be back at 3 a.m. in time for the Gyatt burger.
What are you doing, voyaldue?
The manager had come up behind me as I worked the sinks. Before turning to him, I slightly sucked in my cheeks and squinted. Nothing at all, sir. Just working.
Doing nothing or working? Which is it?
Not really knowing what to reply, I puckered my lips slightly, keeping my tongue at the roof of my mouth. I tilted my head down, leaned in slightly, and raised my eyebrow.
Don't think I don't know why you're here.
For real?
On guard! Now get back to work.
The manager, for all his bluster and determination to stop me, was unsuccessful in his endeavors. I had already taken my Grimace shake, enough to trigger the ritual, but not enough to have the adverse side effects. All I had to do was wait until he was on break, make my move to the ice cream machine. I thought I'd made it out without a hitch, but as I left the ice cream machine, I saw the manager storming back, a livid look on his face. I decided then it was time to leave. I returned around 2:50. I wasn't taking any chances with being late. As I waited on my phone, I noticed something. Another car. A white Ford pickup truck pulled into the parking lot. It pulled into a spot across the lot from me. Where it stopped, the engines and lights turned off, but no one got out. I checked my watch. 2:56. 4 minutes till it was time. Could they be? No. There had to be at least 100 McDonald's in the US, probably more. This wasn't even the only one in my relative area. If someone was attempting the same thing I was on the same night, the same McDonald's? Unlikely. Or not. The fact remained that whoever this person was had apparently come to this McDonald's to sit idly in their car at 2:58. Whatever. Some guy showing up wouldn't stop me. I got out of my car. The night was cool, but still. The main street behind me, deserted, only lit by the few 24-hour stores and the many luminous street lights. The air was cool. The ground was damp. I began to walk towards the McDonald's when I heard the sound of a car door opening and shutting behind me. I turned to see the owner of the pickup truck walking towards me. He was imposing, to say the least. He wore gray cargo shorts and a white tank top. Short, blonde, I think, hair, defined musculature. Shit, I thought to myself. A strong yet not overbearing physique, chiseled jaw, steely eyes. The manner in which he held himself. Oh my god. He even had a positive canthal tilt. A true looks maxer. A Sigma. I don't like to fluff myself up, so I'll be honest. I'm a beta at best. If my competition for the Gyatt burger was a bona fide Sigma, I was done for. He majestically and powerfully walked right up to me. I had stopped halfway across the lot, and so did he. We stared at each other for a second before I decided to speak first. Are you here for the Gyatt burger? I decided to be upfront. There can't be many other reasons to go to McDonald's at 3 a.m., and if he wasn't, it's not like I'd lose anything if he didn't know. He couldn't do the ritual before I'd already be inside. This is what I was hoping would be the case. He didn't respond, however. He did do a gesture with his hands, though. One finger glided down his face, before turning into an articulate finger waggle. Ah. He was mewing. A crackly voice pierced the vacant lot.
You there, fools!
The voice was old and crooked, recognizable as an old woman. The voice was louder, and yet strange. The voice didn't echo, and it was like she was right beside you, even though she was yards away. The shock of it, as such, broke the Sigma's mewing streak, eliciting a frustrated groan from him.
Ah, damn it, lady. You broke my streak.
Jesus, what the?
Fast food haven as the clock strikes 7 hour and the golden arches cast their long shadows. I, the oracle of the asphalt, forewarn you of the impending peril. Beware the siren's call of the furthest of the kingdom beyond the sliding glass. Within lies a maze of desires and dangers. Seek up the second to learn the forbidden fruit, wrapped in paper and fries. Baptized in bubbling oil. The clouded smile may conceal a fateful jest in the joys of tribal bread and wait till it brings misfortune. In the hollow halls of processed lights that shows shall echo through the corridors of distance. And from the friars concealing the spirit of faith and the sense of grace may mask the suspicion. And around the nations awaits where the plastic chairs hold the secrets of those who have danced with the grimmest. Heed this cryptic counsel, picture not into the realm of the driver, unless your soul be ensnared in a labyrinth of empty cannons and unfulfilled dreams. The frosty touch of the solution may be more than your cook, so more than your cook. It may freeze the threads of your destiny. Abandon this pocket. Embrace the darkness outside these golden gates and forge a path from the shackles of the fast food abyss. Your end will be bloody, violent, painful.
The appearance of a mysterious old crone in the hour of the deed wasn't a good omen, but ever resourceful, I decided not to waste any scrap of information I could get. Despite her ramblings, I'm no fool. I know this is dangerous, not normal, but I have no other choice. Maybe she'd be willing to shed some light on what we'd face, even if only to discourage us. What kind of bloody death awaits us, old crone?
I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I cannot provide graphic content or explicit descriptions of violent or harmful content. If you have any other non-violent or non-graphic requests, I'd be happy to help.
Nice try.
The Sigma's friendly demeanor was reassuring. If he truly was against me, then he wouldn't be nice, right?
If you carry on, I cannot stop you. But I gave you my warning. The rest of the shit is on you.
And with that, she disappeared.
Weird.
For once, I'd agree with the Sigma. That was weird. Hey, I never got your name, I asked. If he would be nice, so would I. After all, having a Sigma on my side in the journey ahead would be fruitful.
Soren. Soren Steele.
Jamison voyaldue. We shook hands.
Alright, Jizzy.
That's not my name.
The Gyatt burger. If we're gonna work together, I should know. Why are you going for the Gyatt burger?
Although he talked over my correction, I decided to leave it. He talks with a confidence that not many could pull off at 3 a.m. in a parking lot. As such, I was compelled to answer him truthfully. After all, we were best friends now, right? I had heard the Gyatt burger could help. My mother's dying, you see. Ligma. You?
I have my reasons.
Well, yeah, I know you have your reasons. That's why I was...
Come on, we don't have all night, Jizzy.
That's still not my name. As we walked into the McDonald's interior, we could see from the glass doors. It changed. What was once illuminated by bright, warm lighting was replaced by an array of cold and dark lights that made the visibility only slightly better than if the lights were off altogether. The interior architecture changed as well. The tiles were cracked and dirty, cobwebs were practically in every corner. Every other table had some strange stain on it. The chairs were turned over in some locations, some even broken into two. But that's not all that changed. The menus were different from the normal kind, much different, darker and scarifier. The 10-piece nugget meal was the 10 decayed teeth meal. There was the disgusting burger sopranos, the sea-bickled fuck meal, scary soda, ravenous raven death sandwiches, fetus burger, human finger fries, semen milkshake, and much more. Along with that, the advertisements and posters around the establishment were darker and scarier versions. The mascots, of course, had their disturbing appearance. The Happy Meal guy was a hyper-realistic face and was depicted doing something so horrible and scary I can't possibly be asked to describe it.
Well, this place is definitely creepy.
This place is not meant for humans like you.
Spinning around, we all stared behind the counter. There was a man who looked to be in his 40s, Caucasian, salt and pepper hair, combed back neatly. He was wearing a buttoned-up vest, a white-colored shirt. His eyes were vibrant purple, cold and unnerving. The lenses of his glasses changed consistently, with a subtle distortion. He exuded an unnerving energy that put me on edge.
My name is Carlos Stink.
He spoke in a strange, unsettling manner. Even the way he stood and moved as he spoke was unsettling and unnerving. Soren turned to whisper to me.
This guy's pretty unnerving.
Yeah, he unsettles me, I replied.
I am the manager of this McDonald's. How can I help you?
As he talks, I think I see his unsettling eyes glance to the roof above us, but it was only for barely a second. I doubt myself, and Soren replies first.
Can we get 2 Gyatt burgers, please?
Ah, the Gyatt burger. Such a special item. And 2, you say? Well, that is interesting.
There's a tension building in the air, and I swear I see him glance up again.
What's so interesting?
For even 1 Gyatt burger.
My heart is racing, adrenaline pumping through my veins. Something's wrong. Something is very wrong. I'm about to glance up at the roof myself when a loud noise makes me jump.
Voyaldue! I told you not to!
As he scolded me, his eyes scanned the room, his voice faltering on Carlos. The tension hasn't let up. I see Carlos break out into a grin. Soren is looking up, all in a split second, and then...
Oh, the monster's about to go.
Creature, with an inhuman motion, blasts down into the room, instantly reducing the manager to a pulp. Me and Soren quickly scrambled behind the overturned table. What do we do? The creature is lapping up what's left of the manager. Looking over the table, I can get a good look at it. Its skin is a dark crimson. Its overall shape is vaguely humanoid. Its arms are extremely long, with what look like 2 elbow joints. Instead of ending in hands, they end in stumps, reminiscent of claws. Its legs, roughly half the size of its arms, look thin and weak. Its face, disheveled, holes where its nose should be. Tons of missing teeth. Small clumps of hair are all that's left on its head. And from its mouth drips strangely colored liquids. I dug back under the table.
I have a plan, but you're not gonna like it.
We don't have time to argue about it. Lay it on me.
I run to the kitchen, and going after me should allow you to get behind it. Divert its attention to you, and lead it to the play structure. Try and lose it there. While you're doing that, I'll be in the kitchen making our Gyatt burgers. Once they're done, I'll shout or pull the fire alarm or something. Then we book it out of here.
Alright, let's do it. Without wasting a beat, Soren dashed from behind the table and towards the kitchen. The creature turned its insidious head and let out a horrible screech. As it lurched towards the kitchen, though, I saw my opening. Leaping out and running at full sprint. Right by it, yelling and making as much noise as I could. Since Soren had already disappeared slightly deeper into the kitchen, the monster rushed towards me instead. With my head start, I was able to make it to the play place before the creature had time to gain speed. Quickly, I dived straight in. For the first time in my life, I was glad I was only 4'9". I was easily able to scramble in without any difficulty, keeping my lead ahead of the monster as it had to squeeze and contort to enter. Not that it was too much of an inconvenience for it seemed. I could hear loud cracks and meaty squelches as it effortlessly morphed every joint in its body to fit inside after me. I was still smaller, however, and kept my lead. The intense, surprising rush of adrenaline and fear no longer overwhelmed me. I fell into a rhythm of weaving in between tubes and juking the creature at every opportunity. Eventually, I gave it a real good slip and snuck out of the play place towards the kitchen. Carlos, still behind the counter, looked on with disinterest. I made it into the kitchen, looking around to try and find Soren. Soren? Soren, where are you? I gave it the slip. Do you have the burger? My calling was cut short when a punch came in from behind, sending me flying across the kitchen, crashing into a shelf of kitchen items. I had thought the monster had caught up with me, but to my surprise, it was Soren. What are you doing?
Calm yourself, Jizzy. It'll all be over soon.
My name's not Jizzy. I quickly got up. How could I have been so foolish? I could see it in his steely, squinted eyes, his firm, immovable stance, and his chiseled chin. He was an evil Sigma. An imposter. Oh shit. He came at me with a flying spin kick. Soren had probably killed many people before, but he never fought me. My smaller than average stature meant I was able to glide under Soren's kick with ease. Even now, I'm not entirely sure why he started attacking me. Probably something to do with the Gyatt burger or something, I don't know. I slid past him, taking a basket out of the deep fryer and tossing it straight at him. Thanks to the skills I'd honed during the war, it sailed straight towards his head, but he caught it midair. Then, suddenly, he dropped it with a grunt of pain. The boiling oil on superheated metal, something about that must harm him. I had an idea. Man, I really thought you were a real Sigma.
I am a Sigma!
Oh, really? Then why am I still alive, huh? A real Sigma would have me dead 10 times over.
On Skibbity, you take that back.
Go back to Ohio State and your Negroes stuffing mismatched socks haven't. While surprised he didn't drop dead from that onslaught, he still moved according to plan. Blinded by rage, he was easy to sidestep. Stunned after colliding with the fryer, I grabbed his head and slammed it into the boiling oil, holding it there as long as I could. Eventually, he threw off my grip, sending me crashing comically into the same shelf, spilling even more kitchen items on me. Gripping the edges of the deep fryer, he threw his head back out of the fryer, hair glistening and sweeping in almost slow motion. I could see my mistake. He'd held a mew that whole time, and now all he'd gotten out was an even tan across his face. It must have been the hot metal that got him, not the oil, I thought angrily.
I walk alone, because I'd rather face my demons in solitude than drag anyone into the storm I've become. It's obvious to me now that I should have kept that policy. Now you die.
I closed my eyes and braced for death. As I thought, I realized I still didn't know why he was attacking me. I opened my eyes to pose this question before I died, but the scene I saw surprised me. Soren was frozen still, a splatter of some strange liquid across the back of his neck. From the kitchen entrance behind him emerged the creature. It walked up to where Soren was. I could see him beginning to twitch. The creature must have spit some kind of venom. As he regained motor functions, he dropped to his knees and looked up at me, seeing my frightened gaze.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
The creature, using its stumped log-like arms, crushed Soren's head instantly with a horrible crunch. As it lapped up Soren's head, bit by bit, I slowly crept unnoticed by it. Grabbing a nearby knife, I readied myself. As I got close to it, it looked up at me suddenly. I plunged the knife into its head. It recoiled, screaming, but I didn't let up. I grabbed its head and plunged it into the deep fryer. It flailed its arms, but they were too long to reach me. Eventually, it stopped moving. Ah, yeah, fucking nice.
Well done, Jizzy.
Oh, shit. That's not my name.
You've slain my beast. You've slain the fiendish Sigma. Your prize. Any item from our menu, free of charge.
Yeah. Can I get him the Gyatt burger, please?
As you wish.
Carlos Stink moved around the kitchen. This is where I actually saw the ingredients of the Gyatt, and as to be expected, they were incredibly disturbing. First, he took 3 buns from a bag of buns on a shelf. Unnoticed in the scuffles I had recently had, at the edges of the kitchen scuttled rats, loads of them, and their nest appeared to be under that shelf, with the buns. The rats scurried away from Carlos as he moved around the kitchen. He totally had like an anti-rat zone, a reverse Pied Piper, the rat antichrist. The physical structure of the burger was similar to a Big Mac, the most famous prize from a McDonald's menu. From heated racks, he swiped up the recently cooked patties, their composition unknown, but that was probably for the best. The cheese he got from a room in the back. I glimpsed an entirely different creature hooked up to some contraption back there. I didn't see much. When Carlos emerged, he carried a bottle of cheese, pre-melted, and applied it to the patties. The secret sauce he made then and there, taking blood from the downed creature and the fallen Sigma, as well as multicolored spit from the creature's mouth, mixing it with a powder from a bottle labeled Scary Spices. Putting all the ingredients together, the atmosphere in the room changed. A pressure began emanating from the burger, an unseeable light of power.
Here it is. Would you like a side of French fries?
I barely heard what he said. The burger looked delectable, and I must not have eaten beforehand because I was starving, my mouth watering. No, I'd like it to go, please. Remember, this was for your dying mother. He put the burger in wrapping, but it was hardly enough to block the burger's aura. With it in my hand, it was overwhelming. I unwrapped it slightly. It looked amazing. Right out of the commercials, but I knew it was real, all eatable. One bite couldn't hurt, right? Getting another one of these was out of the question. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. One bite. The rest was enough to save my mom. I stopped before I was out of the kitchen. With shaking hands, I took a bite. Before I knew it, the entire burger was gone. My breathing labored. I had hardly stopped to breathe. My hands shook. No, my entire body shook. What's...
You killed my creature, Jizzy.
That's not my name.
Oh. Of course, being a new one.
I spun around. Carlos was walking towards me. No. Not me.
You ate the Gyatt burger, Jizzy.
No.
It's your destiny.
My mother. My mother needed that burger. She'll die.
You never had a mother.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I ran, trying to get away. Running into the freezer, I shut the door behind me and blocked it with boxes of frozen fetus sauces and dead child meats. My mother. I had a mother, of course. I did. But what was her name? Thinking on it, I can't remember anything about her. Actually thinking on it, I can't remember my childhood. Where I went to school, who my friends were. Was that the Gyatt burger? Or was this always the case? What's going on?
Think, Jizzy. Think. Your mother, supposedly ill with ligma, unable to move or eat. Who's taking care of her now? While you're trying to cop the Gyatt burger. Who? Do you really think you can nut into any McDonald's ice cream machine and come back at 3 a.m. to get some secret McDonald's? Cause what? You outmogged the manager? You drank a grimace shake? Jizzy, are you autistic? That doesn't make any fucking sense. All of this, was to get you here now. Soren Steele, you think people can just take boiling oil to the face like that? You think wise old crones just walk around Main Street?
I don't know, it all seemed...
Jizzy, you have been chosen. You'll become my new creature, Jizzy. You were born for this purpose. You were raised for this purpose. You ate the Gyatt burger. There's no going back now.
As he said these words, it all fell into place. Of course. What the fuck has even been happening? Really thinking on it, none of this made any real sense. If I was always meant to be a creature, then, I suppose, all I can do now is creech. I'm sitting against the door now. The cold has stopped bothering me, and my skin is turning more red. As I'm writing this, Carlos has been very helpful as an editor. Thanks, Carlos. I don't know if I'll still be me soon, or if any of my memories are real, and it's got me thinking, maybe the real Gyatt burger was the friends we made along the way. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed listening to that one, cause I sure didn't.
You were in Ohio. Couldn't look you in the Gyatt. Just like Hayden or Ross. Your meal makes me itch. You rinse like I say now. And it's giving heat well. I wish I was Sigma. You're so fucking Sigma. But I'm baby Gross.